Panther Broadcasting powered by Prepcast. It is officially week 2. Panthers coming off a win. Coach Joe Bacon, thanks for sitting down with me.
Yep, good to see you.
Good win on Friday night. Wet win.
Very much.
Yeah. What were some of the positives you took away?
So heading into Hal, they're always real big, real physical, and they're one of the top tier teams. And so the challenge for us was being able to play a clean, smart football game, but being able to be physical up front with them and be able to hang with their bigger guys. So we were a little undersized against them, but if you play the right way, you can negate their size, and so we were able to do that pretty well. And that was a big goal for us, and I feel like we accomplished it pretty well.
You guys had a really good balanced attack. Isaiah Hartrip had a great game, in particular. Cairo too. If you had to, one of those guys, did they play a bigger part, do you think?
I think they both played very different roles, but both huge roles. And then offensively, Tyler Oaks and Chris Futrell, both pretty important. But honestly, I would put the bulk of the attention on our offensive line, because those 5 guys up front, they did a tremendous job. And obviously we've got some really skilled athletes that did some great things with the football. But without those 5 doing their job up front, that doesn't happen.
One thing we saw from last game was Tyler Oaks. On a lot of plays, he runs that sweep pattern, man in motion, doesn't get the ball. That has to be a way that the offense has to work, because sometimes I would call him and I'd say, oh, here's Tyler Oaks with the ball, and he doesn't have it. Is that by design?
It is, and part of that's reaction off of what the defense does, and so we're making decisions after the ball's been snapped. But if we do things right, then the defense will always be wrong. It's hard to do that as well, every single play, but that's the goal, is for us to work off what they do and make our choices then.
Now looking ahead to West, Howell and West rivals themselves. Big schools, Class 6.
Yep.
Is it a different animal than Howell, or are you approaching it pretty much as if it's the same game?
They got some different strengths and weaknesses than Howell has, but they are a big school, and they are loaded with some real good players, and plus it's a rivalry game, and so they'll be real excited to play against us, and I know we'll get their best shot. So it's going to take everything we've got this week.
West is coming off a 1-point win over Eureka. Is there anything you've seen that you might say we're going to key in on?
Not necessarily, but West, they're a pretty disciplined ball club, and they showed a lot of fight. Like, it would have been easy towards the end of the game. Things started going against them. Just kind of let the game slip away, but they fought back, and so they'll be a pretty tenacious group. And again, they're going to be a handful Friday night.
You're at home now. Did a lot of the guys come up to you after the game and say, "Hey, I got my jitters out"? Anything like that?
I felt like, as odd as Friday was with the rain and then the start time getting pushed back and all those different things that kind of threw us off schedule, that might have actually helped us out a little bit, because I felt like we played pretty clean, pretty aggressive football, and I didn't think we looked scared or unsure out there at all. And so there might have been, I'm sure there was some butterflies, but I think they handled it real well.
Last question, would you rather play in the wet or the dry with a running offense?
Dry.
Dry?
Whether we're running or passing offense, I'd rather it be dry, just because sometimes crazy stuff happens when the ball gets wet. And so, win or lose, I would rather the better team win, and that happens more often than not when it's dry out.
Yeah, and you guys have a tough test in West coming up. Fingers crossed it's going to be dry.
Yep,
and
hope so.
Looks like you guys are going to keep on rolling. So thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast, your play-by-play network.